We are here on location in Italy. Lake Garda is behind us, and we're in the Veneto region, with Lombardy behind us even further.
Well, here in the town of Bardolino, where we are right now, is home to two very famous wines. You have Bardolino, which is a red wine, and you have Chiaretto di Bardolino, which is a rosé wine. That's what we're here about.
France has Provence,
but Italy has Chiaretto di Bardolino. So join us as we explore this region on the ground, learning about this wonderful rosé region, the grapes that go into it, the history of it, the food pairings. So much we're ready to explore, and join us on this episode of Crush on This to learn about Chiaretto di Bardolino. I'm standing here in Lake Garda. Lake Garda is the largest lake in Italy. And this lake spreads from north to south with Lombardy on one side, Veneto on the other, and Trento in the north. And what's unique about this place is that it's a Mediterranean climate, but it's the mountains that speak in the wines. And what I mean by that is the soils, what happened is that you had the glaciers coming down from the north. They came through the Dolomites, pushing all these rocks and stones into here. And what you have here are these big rocks that are filled with magnesium, which brings salt. So you get a lot of salinity in the wines, and that is something that is reflected in these Chiaretto di Bardolinos.
Chiaretto di Bardolino is made of two grapes, Corvino, which is maximum of 95%, and Rondinella, which is a minimum of 5% in each of these wines. The color depends on the vintage, and it can range from a light ballet slipper color to a rose to an orange, beautiful orange color. It's made direct press, mostly, for 2 to 4 hours.
So we're here in beautiful Lago di Garda in northern Italy, and so excited to taste through some of these Chiaretto di Bardolinos. We are going to be joined by our friend Katarina Andersson, who is a local journalist who lives in Florence, who's going to taste through some of these wines with Cindy and myself.
The wine in my glass is from Poggio della Grazia. It's a Chiaretto, and I am loving this. Let me taste it one more time. Fresh, saline. Because of the proximity to Lake Garda, we are getting that minerality. We are getting actually a little mineral magnesium, right? We have delicious wines. They're lingering finish. They pair with so many different things. And look at the color on this. It's beautiful. Katarina, what's in your glass?
Okay, so I'm drinking the Casaretti, which is also a winery in the La Rocca area. Because now, well, not for the Chiaretto, but for the Bardolino. The area is divided in 3 different subzones. So this is also a perfect rosé wine for a summer day. It's fresh. It has a high salinity. Not as when you're close to the sea, because we're close to Lake Garda here. But it also has this kind of spiciness, a bit of herbs, of course a bit forest fruit, like the smaller red fruit. So it's definitely a great alternative to the French rosé wines, and I would say that the future is Chiaretto.
So I have got the Monte del Fra Chiaretto di Bardolino at 2021, and it's just a beautiful pale pink, almost like onion skin color, and it's got this nice golden shimmer in the light. And what I get on it is the common note of minerality, but I get this really delicate kind of strawberry note, cherry, a lot of red fruit to it. And it's really delicate on the palate. It's got really nice acidity. A lovely texture kind of lingers on the tongue, and it's making my mouth water. So I'm gonna take another sip while you tell us what you've got.
So I chose the 2021 Pazienus from Montezzolo. It's of course a Chiaretto. It also has the
Totally different colors.
Yes. It has a lot of red fruit. I think it's a bit more like towards, well, also strawberry, but also kind of smaller berries. It has very high acidity. Also the typical citrusy notes, which are very typical for the Chiaretto and the Lake Garda. And on the palate it's very salty, and salinity is very kind of noticeable, but it's also very smooth, very fresh. I would say it's a perfect summer wine.
In my glass is the Albino Bionda Chiaretto di Bardolino. And look at the color, Allie. It is like ballet slipper. And look at different your color
I
is.
know, that's amazing. Like the diversity of rosé.
Diversity of rosé, and those from Bardolino, amazing. This is, again, that freshness, that salinity, that almost that minerality. Spice really wakes up your senses. This is a perfect wine for sitting by the pool with food, fish. It's beautiful, and I love the color. It almost looks like there's nothing in the glass, but it's an amazing rosé.
Well, there's definitely something in my glass.
Yeah.
It's a little pinker, and it's got this kind of bright pink, but there's a little kind of salmon tinge to it, a salmon tinge. And I have got the Vignalalte Zeni Chiaretto Bardolino, and you know, the color, it's probably got a little more time on the skins. Maybe you had 2 to 4 hours, maybe mine had 6 to 8 hours. Nothing to judge against, but I get much bolder fruit notes. It's got a lot of like strawberry cherry coming out, a little bit of the spice, but again, same thing you were saying, the minerality, the saltiness. Really bold in the mouth, really coats the palate. This can definitely stand up to food, but it also, it is a sipper because it's got that mouth-watering acidity that keeps you wanting more. And the great thing about this, 2 great wines, different colors. Our final wine today is the Villa Cordovigo. It is a pale, beautiful rosé. It's a 2021, and like all of the ones we've had before in varying degrees, you get the red fruits, you get a little floral note, you get the citrus, the salinity, minerality. I mean, just all so drinkable. Don't you think, Cindy?
Absolutely. And you know, the other wonderful thing about these wines is lower alcohol. Anywhere from 12 to 13.5%. It's beautiful. Beautiful wines.
Yeah, so, you know, when you're looking for a rosé, whether it's the summer, the spring, the fall, well, we drink it year round, check out Chiaretto di Bardolino. This is Italy's rosé wine. This should be your rosé wine because affordable, delicious, I mean,
What's there not to love?
and you can pretend this view is behind you every time you're drinking it too. So cheers.